Hey everybody, this is Chris Miglino. I am at the world famous LD Micro Conference in Los Angeles. I'm here with Tim Burns from Ideal Power, IPWR.
You got it.
There you go. That's a pretty good symbol, actually. The stock should just go up for that. I mean, IPWR, it's not going to get any better than that. These guys are in the semiconductor business as it relates to power on semiconductors, right?
Correct.
Tell our audience a little bit about what you guys are doing.
Yeah, so we have a powered semiconductor device that can compete against IGBTs and silicon carbide devices that are in the market today. And it provides better performance at a lower cost to things like electric vehicles, renewable energy, particularly when paired with energy storage, solid-state circuit breaker, motor drive, so a host of applications where it actually can improve the performance without having the burden of the cost of silicon carbide.
So you guys have been developing this over the years. So this is a cutting-edge technology.
It is. So typically, semiconductors, you're processing on a single side of the wafer. Our technology is inherently bidirectional, and we actually process on both sides of the wafer. So it actually took us a few years to figure out how can you do that in a standard silicon fab using standard silicon process equipment without the need for CapEx. So it's something that we've now qualified two high volume fabs. So we're ready for production, and we're just starting to sell our initial products here now.
And so what are the products that you're selling? What's going to market?
Yeah, so our revenue ramp is going to be on the industrial side. So it's really solid state circuit protection. So we have a product called the SimCool. It's a multi-die module that's really targeting that market. We're the enabling technology because we bring very low conduction losses to solid-state circuit breakers, was what you need for those devices. I would say the other thing that we're doing is working on a development program with Stellantis. So Stellantis, one of the top 10 global automakers, they're looking at a B-TRAN-based drivetrain inverter. So this is for their EV platform. We expect it to be across many models. We're working with the teams from the US, teams from France, team from Italy. So we think it'll potentially be a global EV platform for them, incorporating our technology.
That's fantastic.
Thank you.
So that's a big win.
Oh, it certainly is. We've been through the first two phases of that program, 3-phase program. We expect to secure the third phase here shortly.
And so the company has traditionally, up until this point, been in kind of the research development phase of this.
That is true.
It's a proven tech now. Now you got customers coming online, and they're starting to buy the products. I mean, it couldn't be better, perfect timing. I mean, EVs are skyrocketing.
Yeah, so what we need to see first is the design wins, which we're expecting those in the coming months, as early as later this year. Initial design wins.
What does a design win mean? What does that mean for the?
So it is going to be either going to be a custom development agreement where somebody's going to want it packaged in a certain way, and we'll work with them on that for their product designs. Or it could be just a volume commitment in terms of future orders for a specific product that they're rolling out.
So let's say you get that. Yeah, then what happens?
So then they're going to have to continue their design cycle. It's about a 12-month industrial design cycle. By the time they make that decision, they're a few months into it. So we would expect, 6 to 9 months after that design win is where we'd expect the revenue to ramp from that product.
Interesting. Okay, so is there any other applications outside of the EV market, EV market primarily the focus?
So our first product is SimCool. It's industrial, so it's solid-state switchgear market. It's about $1 billion SAM for us. So it is a sizable market. Our second product that we're starting selling right now, the SimCool IQ. It combines an intelligent driver with the SimCool module. That targets power converters for renewable energy, EV charging, and energy storage. So that'll open up 3 additional markets for us. Longer term, there's things like motor drives, uninterruptible power supplies for data centers. So that's a broadly applicable, just like IGBTs pretty much dominate the market now across all those segments. This is an opportunity that we can really bring the advantages of B-TRAN to all of these different market segments.
So people are buying your product to install into their product. You're not traditional.
Correct. Yeah. So on the industrial side, you'd be selling into a ABB or a Siemens or a Schneider, an Eaton or a General Electric.
Okay.
To give us a perspective on who the customers would be. For the automotives, it's either going to be a tier 1 auto supplier that supplies subsystems to the automaker or the automaker themselves. In the case of our program is Stellantis.
So let's talk a little bit about the balance sheet and the financials, so up through whatever you can talk about. And, I know it's coming up into filings here pretty soon, but as we sit here on October 28th of 2024, what was the last balance sheet like? How did you guys look? Do you have cash? You need cash in the future?
Yeah, so we had a capital raise early this year. It was modest discount, common stock only, so it was a clean raise. At June 30th, we had just over $20 million of cash in the bank. For the full year, 2024, we'll burn $9 to $9.5 million. And we're really largely pre-revenue, very modest revenue right now. So that gives us, though, even if there's no revenue in theory, plenty of cash to get us to the middle of 2026. And then you're looking at a company that has design wins under its belt, potentially has agreements with EV makers. So if we do need to raise capital again, it should be on much more favorable terms and hopefully at a much higher price than it is now when we're really pre-revenue.
Okay, that's fantastic. And it's every quarter is going to be up from here because you're starting to see the revenue start now.
Correct. Now we won't see it'll still be modest over the next 6 months because people are still evaluating the technology, still building their initial prototypes. But it's really the second half of next year where we expect to see the ramp.
Okay. What else is it that that the investors could be looking for? It's this design stuff. That's the big thing.
Yes.
And then that because those design that leads to wins afterwards. That leads
to the revenue, right? And it's really the industrial markets where you'll see it first. And then the largest opportunity is with the automakers is on the EV space, but that's potentially 3 years down the line, right? So we'll have revenue from multiple markets leading into that. We're also doing some other things. We're ready for production. We have 2 qualified fabs right now. This year, we've signed up 3 different distributors. One's here in the U.S., one for Japan, and one for Asia. So we'll add distributors to the mix as well. And they're not your typical order fulfillment houses. These are demand creation distributors. So they actually are bringing customers to us. They then turn them over to us. Now we hand it back to them for order fulfillment so that they earn appropriate commissions on the sale. But it's just another arm, another way to leverage the existing silicon infrastructure that's out there.
Okay, fantastic. Well, if anybody wants to learn about it, this is Ideal Power, IPWR. Tim Burns, thank you very much for joining us today at LD Micro, and good luck, and hope you meet a lot of great investors there.
Thanks.
Thank you.